Yeah, sorry about that, guys. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. That's my bad. Yeah, we're back. My apologies there. That was an accident. What's up, Bull Runner? Good to see you, man. All right. What were we talking about before I had to restart there? Let's see. We're talking about shorting meme coins. So, okay. Yeah, I mean, if you wait for structure breaks like at highs. All right, so do we sweep the high here? We did. Yeah, so I mean, if you look like 4-hour structure break bearish, dump. 4-hour structure break bearish, dump. Yeah, it just depends on the environment. 4-hour structure break bearish, dump. Like obviously when we're 4-hour structure break bearish, dump. Like they dump more, right? Like they dump more aggressively, but it's really about risk to reward, right? So if you were looking to trade Altcoin on the 4-hour dump here to come down here, I mean it's like a 1-to-1 risk to reward. You couldn't have really known who was going to do this, but your stop losses are bigger, so you really just need to get in on lower time frames. But you can short anything whenever you use structure, but the question is just about risk to reward. But we're gonna go over that stuff today. What's up, Alexander G? You can be rich in a bear market. Yeah, I mean, look, so if we invert the chart, I mean, a bear market's just a bull market upside down, right? So yeah. I mean, holding stuff, you won't get rich in a bear market, but I mean, planning for the bull market, you'll get rich in a bear market. I mean, you should welcome prices to come down because then you can buy the asset cheaper, right? To go up for the next bull market. Yeah, that's not bad timing there. Okay. Thanks for bearing with me there, guys. I messed up on the last stream. Okay, let's take a look. This is a messy chart. Got alerts and stuff all over this. All right, so this morning, let's start there. Before we get into the macro stuff. You guys know the trade that I signaled here, right? It doesn't look like it's going to play out. We were looking for, this is not valid anymore. We were looking for the SFP into the break of structure to come up into these levels here. It doesn't look like we're getting that. We're kind of just dumping off, which is nice because I want to see a really fast move down to about 88K. If we look at the daily here, right, we have lost this kind of support in here. There is nothing in these candles. There's absolutely no support in here. It should be a very quick move down to 88K. But we'll have to wait and see, right? Structure hasn't moved. Structure still up here on the 15 because we haven't set a valid high in here. All we did was come grab liquidity, pump up to dump again. So this is a very bearish pattern, right? I mean, it's just sideways consolidation, inside bar on the 4-hour, right? Inside bar consolidation into a push down. But let's talk about today. How could you have traded this morning? Okay, so there's a couple of things to keep in mind here, right? So what happened was we came up to resistance here, likely a golden pocket from the, is it 1 hour? Yeah, so it's like a golden pocket from the 1 hour move here. What did we do? on the 5-minute, we came here, we broke structure here on the 5-minute, we rolled over. This morning, we got this like sweep pump, right? But what was the clue that we weren't going to break, that we weren't going to go higher, right? 5-minute high is here. What did we do? We SFP'd the 5-minute high, right? Bearish SFP, failure to break above, sell off, down we go. Now, if we're looking at structure on our way down, what is one thing you notice here, right? So the 5-minute SFP is here. We come down. There is literally no 5-minute structure break all the way down. There still hasn't been a 5-minute structure break, right? So if you were getting wrecked on the long side today, one thing to ask yourself is, why were you getting long? Right? Well, where's the long in here? I mean, the closest setup we even had to a long was if this had broken structure here, but failure to get above, come down. One of the reasons, so I was kind of looking at, if we go to the 1-minute here, I was kind of looking at this 1-minute break, and I mean, it ended up golden pocket, higher high, right? You could have gotten here, sold up here, but it wasn't really for me. I was telling you guys, like, it's super degenerate. I wouldn't really signal this to you guys. Why? Because the only time frame that broke bullish here was literally the 1-minute, right? Like, if I flip over to a 2-minute here, there's no high on the 2-minute, right? There's no break of structure in here at all, because this is not a valid high, right? So it was super generous to take that long. When did it start to look a little bit better, right? So even here, right? Like when we rejected here, what was this, right? So if we're looking for higher time frame structure, where's our high? Right? We know that we set a high here with 4 candles here. Then we made this low. So what did we really do here? Well, if you pull your golden pocket, this is why it's important to understand where your structure is, right? Because if you pull your golden pocket from your 5-minute high to your 5-minute low, all we did was retest the golden pocket on the 5-minute. Yes, Barb, it was. Yeah. There's a 1 hour 618. Yeah. It was a little bit higher than a 618, but yeah, it was 618. And then, so we tested our 5-minute golden pocket here. That's all that we did, right? So no long trade in here. Now, when did it get more interesting? To me, it got more interesting when we swept this low, right? Why? Because if we switch over to the 1 hour here, we now had set a high and set a low on the 1 hour. So if we had come up and broken this, then it starts to look a lot more bullish for a move back up. We failed to do so, and now we're moving lower, and now we're in the fair value gap. Alts, I'm sure, are getting absolutely shreked right now. Let's see. Sui's at 1.6. That's crazy. Yeah, guys. Where's our cute little bear here? Guilty until proven innocent, right? Ever since the break at 122, right? Ever since here. And what have we done since then? We have dumped. Aggressively dumped, right? It looks like a dude's jumping upside down, right? Like here's his body, and then here's his head, and here's his arms, right? Here's his legs. Whee! Right? Jumping off a cliff. Sorry, guys. Okay. But yeah, so now we're getting a aggressive move down. Where's the next level to watch? The next level is this weekly demand that we've been talking about forever, right? It's still on the chart as to why, right? Range, initiation, mitigation, continuation, right? But the main thing is this is the range that led to this imbalance, which ran us to all-time high. right? So if we're looking for a demand of imbalance here, right, this is our demand that created the imbalance. Now, what are we looking for down here, right? I mean, if you want to, try to catch it early and be degenerate, you can look for like a 15-minute long down here. But what do we know about structure? We know that the 4 hour. So let's do biases again, right? So we know that the weekly is bearish, the daily is bearish, and the 4 hour is bearish. This is probably, I mean, Bitcoin's not doing anything, right? It's not, there's nothing time sensitive. Let's go ahead and do like the lesson about trading with the trend and like when you're going to get the best trades, okay? So when we have these conditions here, right, we talk about this all the time to the upside and to the downside, right? So if you're biased on your 4 hour, because this is generally like for your intra-week trades and everything, this is a good bias time frame to use as your 4 hour. So if your 4 hour is bearish, you are in a downtrend on the 4 hour, right? So you want to find entries on these retraced legs up to attack the previous week low, right? Now, how do we identify the best opportunities to do this? So when your 4 hour is bearish, if your 30-minute breaks bullish, yes, it's an opportunity for a counter trend long that should be considered a retracement, right? But it's also the opportunity for the 30-minute to break back bearish, right? Now, when your 30-minute breaks back bearish to line up with your 4 hour, to line up with your daily, that is generally when you're going to get the best opportunities for a short. And you can apply this further down your time frames, right? Like when your 5-minute breaks back bearish from being bullish, et cetera, et cetera. We're going to go over some more examples here. But if we look back here at like the 107 short that we took, that I signaled for you guys in the Discord, right? So why were we looking at 30-minute back here? So the reason that we were looking for 30-minute is we knew that our 1 hour structure was up here at 107.7, right? So like I was talking about, whenever a time frame in a downtrend breaks bullish, it creates an opportunity for that time frame to break back bearish to attack the week low again. Take a screenshot of this if you need to, right? And flip it, right? But so looking at this 30-minute trade here, we were looking at the 30-minute because we know that the 30-minute broke bullish here. Right? This was a bullish break of structure on a pretty high time frame, right? Because this is the 1 hour was bearish, right? So the 30-minute was bullish. So this was our active structure time frame, was the 30-minute. So we're waiting for that 30-minute to break bearish to line up with the 1 hour. All right, so then your trade setup is going to be whenever that 30-minute breaks back bearish to attack this low here, right? So where does that happen? So we set a high on the 30-minute here after, well, before breaking structure but SFPing, right? Set a low, we set a new high here, we break that high, and then we break that low. And our trade setup look like this. Right, and then leave a runner, but we had like a mitigation trade. Trade setup looked like this, right? Some of you guys got in on the 107, 200. You guys front ran it a little bit, which is awesome. I know Barbie got in like 106, 600. Hey, but whenever we break these higher time frames back bearish, it gives you an opportunity to get short into the prevailing high time frame trend, which was bearish at the time, right? And if we look at some examples of this as well, so like 15-minute, we also had on the retest here, right? Yeah, so we get an SFP on the 15-minute. This was on the mitigation of that same supply range. We get an SFP. You get a break of structure. You get a mitigation. And the floor falls out. Which is, if we're referencing like the the pattern that I was drawing up there, right? Yes, you can take this 15-minute, where was it? It wasn't even 15-minute. I think this was like a 12-minute. So yeah, let's do 12 minutes so it's less confusing. Yeah, there's your 12-minute break mitigation. Right, but you can take this 12-minute bullish break here. Right? And yes, you get a move, but it's expected to just be a retracement to break back bearish to get your attack on the week low. You know all the levels, Mikey? That's awesome, man. Throw a 1 if you're with me. And if you have any questions, let me know before we get into the TA, the like local TA. All right, Jalapeno, do you have any questions? Hey, 68 people in here. Appreciate you guys being here. If y'all could smash the like for me, I appreciate it. Make sure you subscribe if you're new. You good? All right, cool. So let's look at a local example, right? So obviously your moves to the downside are going to be supercharged, right? So locally, we were talking about that 1 minute break, right? So you break your 1 minute bullish here. What opportunities does that create to the downside, right? So you break your 1 minute bullish, you set a new high, you sweep that high. Did you sweep that high? Yeah, you sweep that, or you sweep that high. Hold on. I think both of them swept. I think it was 3 drives. Yes, both of them swept, right? So you set a high, you sweep that high, you set a low, you sweep that high, you break structure to the downside, supercharged move to the downside, right? You set a high, you SFP that low, you break structure to the upside, retrace, break structure to the upside, set a low, break structure to the upside. Then what do? You come down. What do? You come down, you break structure bearishly. You break structure bearishly, right? That's another opportunity, right? So you break structure bearishly, you come back, retest supply here, break down, right? So you see that you're in, like if you enter to like the golden pocket here or something, drop above the strong high, right? Target first TP1 here, TP2 the weak low, right? You get a nice dump out of that. Now, how do you know that you can't trust this pump here? We may get a 1 minute break of structure here, right? Only really important if you're in shorts, but we might get a 1 minute break of structure. Actually, no, this is internal. Never mind. Didn't break this low. Never mind. Forget that. So how do you know not to trust this breakout here? Because in order for this pump here to flip even 1 minute structure bullish, right? Because right now the 1 minute plus is bearish. So we shouldn't expect this to break, to come up to this high here, right? We know that we have a weak low below us. What did we do? We retested supply and we broke down, took out the weak low, right? What are we doing right now? I mean, we're probably golden pocket retesting. Exactly, right? Golden pocket retesting. When is this bullish? Well, this is bullish if we break this strong high here. Otherwise, this is just a golden pocket retest the supply to come back down and attack the weak low. Yes, so you can do that to follow trend down, or you can do what we're talking about and wait for the structure to break bullish, right? Like for example, We had a bullish fake out on the 1 minute here, right? Creates an opportunity when it breaks back bearish to go to dump lower. Or you can wait for it to break bullish, to break bearish again, to come down. However you want to do it, or you can just short the retest of supply, right? So you break bearish here, you retest supply, you come down to attack the weak low. It's the same thing that you do in an uptrend. I'm just explaining like the concept of retracements aligning with a larger time frame trend, right? Because if your trend looks like this, you're looking to get short here to attack the weak low. All right, hopefully you guys caught all of that. Let's talk a bit about the levels here. So obviously the most important level on the chart for me is going to be down here at 88K, like 88.5, the weekly demand that we were talking about before. We'll see if we get down there or not. Now, what would change my mind? So we have set a 1 hour high currently here. We've set a 1 hour high currently here at 92,250. At the very least, if you want to get bullish for like a retracement back up into these areas, you want to see 102,220 or 92,220 break. If not, it's just going to continue to go down, right? Yes, we're SFPing here, but remember, you don't get in on the SFP, you get in on the break of structure. Could you just invert your chart to make it easier? Yeah, if you struggle with trading like downtrends, right? I mean, this looks pretty bullish if you're if you invert the chart, right? So it'd be pretty bearish. So yeah, you can definitely invert the chart if you struggle. Now, what's some easy ways to get in on shorts? So in downtrends, the EMA strat works really good, right? So if we look at this morning, I like the 20-minute a lot for shorts, right? So the 50 EMA is below the 200, right? You're shorting it on retest of the 200, right? If you just use that strategy, you'd see a nice little retest this morning above the 200. It's a nice place to short. If we go back to previous downtrends, this is alpha here, guys, right? So 50 crosses the 200, you're shorting on 20-minute tests above the 200, right? 20 minutes good for uptrends as well, but it's really nice in downtrends. 50 crosses the 200, you're shorting 20-minute tests above the 200. $50 crosses the 200, you're shorting 20-minute retest above the 200. Invalidation when the 50 crosses back up. $50 crosses the 200, you're shorting 20-minute tests above the 200. Add some structure in there. You get some nice stop losses. It's just a really easy indication of kind of levels that are overextended to the upside. I like the 20-minute a lot for the EMA strat. It's a lot of volume here. $69 people, nice. I mean, it just depends on your time frame, right, Mickey? Like, I mean, you could enter on the 1 minute golden pocket stop loss here, TP1 here, TP2 at 88K, right? You just have to have a strong high to put your stop loss behind. Right, like this risk to reward is not bad, right? Entry here, stop here, TP here. Yes, we did fill. Yes, we did fill the CME gap. So if we look at CME here, where's my CME chart? Oh, here we go. So we had a nice little CME gap to fill down at 91,970. We've now filled that, right? But we're continuing to dump more, right? We got strong daily closes to the downside. Yeah, but CME gap is filled. Understanding where structure is and understanding where to pull your golden pocket from is so important, right? Like getting this golden pocket here that we rejected from, you have to understand that your strong high on your 5 minute is here and your strong lows here. Where do we reject from? Perfect retest the golden pocket, right? If you had pulled it from like arbitrarily here, right, that golden pocket doesn't really help you that much. You got to make sure you pull it structurally, right? Same thing back here whenever we had like the big dump from like 124 down to 102, right? If you didn't understand that your 4-hour high is here, not here, right? If you pull it from here, we didn't touch the golden pocket, but if you pull it from the structural high here, we rejected right from the golden pocket, right? Oh, I don't want to move my bear. Throw one in the chat if you understand that. Same thing here, right? Understanding that this is your 1 minute golden pocket. So I pulled it from the 1 minute high here. If instead you pulled your golden pocket from up here, we didn't touch it. Right? You guys understand that? Right? And what do you know? We're dumping. Free trade setup given here at the golden pocket. What's up, Freddy? Welcome to the stream. I don't think I've seen you before. Hey, you took the trade, bro? Nice. All right. Is there any other questions about Bitcoin before we look at alts for people? 70 people on the stream. Appreciate you guys being here. Don't be mean, Con. Yeah, you like the thumbnail? Hey, I got you in the video. Yeah, Nice. So it's because we took the low here, right? So this is normally how I explain structure, right? So let's make it yellow. So our high was here and our low was here, right? So whenever we take this low, or I'm sorry, our low was here right? High, low, because we took out this low, the low moved here. Then we take out this low, right? What is in between this yellow line and this yellow line? What is the highest point that price created that has two candles, at least two consecutive candles in the same direction? It's right here. So your high moved here after you made this low. So when you break this low, your strong high moves to here. So your strong high is here. So when you're pulling your fib from your strong high. It's the low that you made, golden pockets right here. It's important to understand internal versus external structure, right? Because if you don't, then this looks like a structure break, but this is not a structure break because you didn't take the low here. So it's not external structure. Let's not argue with each other in chat. All right, ETH. Yeah, we can look at ETH. This chart is messy. Let's redo ETH. All right, start over. 89 drawings. Hold on. All right, we can just use this chart. Wait, do I still have my spider lines? Okay. Cool. All right, so what do we know about ETH? We know that we had a little bit of support here. How is demand? We know that we're in a downtrend. We know that our daily strong high is going to be up here at 36.70, right? So our daily strong high. We know that we have just broke structure to the downside. We also know that we have very strong untapped demand on ETH down here, like 28.72. This would be the equivalent of like Bitcoin to 88K, right? Well, maybe even this demand here. This is a decision block down here, like 2600. Let's go ahead and put a demand block there as well. So we know that we have a couple of levels to be aware of on ETH. Let's set some alerts. We got ETH decision block down here at 2635. Awesome, Niche. You got it. Let's go to our 4 hour. Okay, this is nice. This is nice. So we were talking about for the longest time how there was, even though we took this low here, I kind of wanted to see ETH set another low. Why? Because I wanted internal or external 4 hour structure to move. It has now done that. So if you're looking to get swing long on ETH, you're looking to at least come up to 32.23. This would be a 4 hour break of structure on ETH. So if we get something like this, we can look for a bigger pullback on ETH. Until this breaks, we should expect rallies to fail, and we're likely coming to 2870. Yeah, Mikey, I don't pay attention to any of that stuff. I just look at structure. Show me the charts, I'll tell you the news. But yeah, so basically, let's look at 1 hour. So 1 hour, ETH didn't even take this low, so it's less appealing to me than Bitcoin because in order to break bullish on the 1 hour, it's got to basically come break 4 hour structure. So really what you're looking for on ETH is either a move down and then a break of 1 hour structure, or you're looking to come up and break 32.23. If you do that, you can get more of a sustained move to the upside. Otherwise, if we make our way down and we break structure down here, I would really love this for a move back up. I really want to touch this demand. Yes, I do, Pretty. Yeah, exactly, Mickey. You would expect it to just be a retrace until it breaks higher time frame structure. Okay. Hey, whoever was in from 80 cents on Aster, they're chilling right now. So Aster needs to break here. So what has Aster done so far? It has SFP'd your 4-hour market structure. So now if Aster could come up and break 1.3, you now have a strong low at 115. So if you're looking to get a position on Aster, if you come above here, you can get long here with a stop under here to try to come up and attack some of these liquidity in the high, since it is still in an uptrend on the daily. Yeah, I'm going to set an alert here. Aster 4-hour break of structure. Yeah, so Aster, it starts to look really good if you get a 4-hour close above 130. Because then you start to posture for like a golden cross on your 50 and 200 on your 4-hour as well, which is pretty bullish. But yeah, that's the level that I would set an alert at, 130. For all you Aster bulls. Yeah, for sure, bull runner. This actually doesn't look that bad. If you can get above, let's see. Yeah, if you can get above 130, I don't see any reason why it can't revisit 180. Okay. Caspa, there's not much I can tell you about it. It's still in an ovary pattern. Anything that looks like this, it looks like shit. If you want to get bullish on Aster, you need to see, let's look at 4-hour. If you want to get bullish, or not Aster, if you want to get bullish on Caspa, you need to see it back above 7.5 or 0.075. This is where I'd set my alert on Caspa. Long term, sorry. Yeah, so long term, right now you have a weak low below you. All right, so this would be your technical target. Down here, like 1 cent, so it's not really worth trading, in my opinion, until you come above this and flip some market structure. Why, for example, if we look at like ICP or some of the coins that have already broken structure, right? If you wait for you to get that 4-hour market structure break, right? So it breaks 4-hour market structure here, right? We had drawn this little ovary pattern because somebody wanted to look at it down here, which, I mean, yes, it pumped, right? But dumped first and pumped. But like, you see how much cleaner it is when you wait, right? Like the move from $4 to $10 was very quick and up, right? And then what happens? You break here. This is not the market structure break anymore. Oh, hey, this is okay. Yeah, we're gonna look at this. There's an opportunity here. So we know that the daily market structure broke here, broke bullish here on ICP. Now, I was telling you guys caution whenever ICP broke bearish on the 4-hour here. Why? Because now you're in a downtrend on the 4-hour. Where do you come back to? Daily golden pocket down here, like 480. Now something really interesting is happening on ICP. This creates an opportunity, right? So if this 4-hour candle can close above 570 or 561.5, you have now broken your 4-hour structure bullish at the golden pocket, and you can look to get into a trade. Ooh, I might have to signal this one. Yeah, ICP looks gearing up for a nice move. That's a 4.4 risk to reward. If it can close up here in about an hour, I like it. Yeah, this looks good. So I would check back in ICP in about an hour or so. If we close above 5.61, it's a nice setup for a move back to the daily week highs. Yeah, man. I mean, it's like it's much harder to know that this is gonna happen than to see the break here and then know that this is gonna happen. And I mean, this is just a lot cleaner trading. But hey, guys, ICP looks really good. You have to check it in about an hour or so, but it looks good. All right, any other coins you guys want to look at? Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. This might... Did this sweep this? No, okay, yeah. No, that's right. Sorry. Confused myself a bit there. Yeah, here's your 4-hour structure break. All right, well then let's take a look back at Bitcoin here. Yeah, still going down. Key level at 88K. Like I said, if you want to get bullish, you have to break above 92,500. All right, we'll look at syrup if it did break daily structure. There's no real history on this, but I'll do a quick one for you. So you break daily structure bullish here, you're correct. You come back to, it looks like golden pocket here. Yeah, you come back to golden pocket. You get a run up. Now your daily strong low is here. Let's look at 4-hour. So the problem with syrup is that you've just broken 4-hour bearish. So you break 4-hour bearish on syrup here. So while the daily is bullish and you are at like your 786, it looks like you're coming down to your 786. At this point, what you're looking for is some sort of structural indication that you're gonna get a retrace on the to come attack the daily week high. Until that happens, yeah, your problem is that you have a fresh 4-hour downtrend on syrup. So I can't really give you any longs here, but it creates an opportunity where if you set a high here on the 4-hour, sweep it and break that high, then you can get long stop loss here, run up here. Kind of the same setup we were just looking at on ICP, right? So the daily is bullish, and then What happened to my trade here? Right, kind of similar to this. Your daily structure is bullish after this break here. Your 4-hour breaks bearish. And you're waiting for the opportunity whenever the 4-hour breaks back bullish. Stop loss under here, target the week high. Out of everything we've looked at on stream, if ICP can close above 516.17, this looks like the best trade setup in my opinion. You're bouncing off the daily golden pocket. You've just swept liquidity out of this low. You're getting a 4-hour structure break. It's a 4.5 risk to reward back to the highs. ICP looks good. Check back in about an hour or so. Oh yeah, we'll look at Tau here. Hey, Alex, what's up, man? Hey, thanks for the shout out this morning, bro. Yeah, man. 800 subs is crazy, bro. I appreciate you. Okay. Yeah, let's look at Tau. So Tau did break daily bullish. The problem now is that Tau has broken the daily bearish here. So now you're under bearish structure on the daily. It doesn't look as good anymore. Yeah, Mikey, I think I'm gonna signal an ICP trade. That it looks really good. So at the very least on Tau, brother, you gotta break 333. That would be a 4-hour break of structure. If you do that, you could see a move up to your 618 of your new daily downtrend, which would be. So if I had to give a trade setup on Tau right now, you'd be looking for a break of 332, stop loss underneath the low to ride up to the golden pocket. It's like a 4-to-1 risk to reward. Until it breaks 333, I wouldn't touch it. You got a weak low below you, you'd be expecting that weak low to get taken. But if you can come above here, you can get a nice setup for a move to the golden pocket. However, I would aggressively, if not close the whole position at this supply block here, golden pocket confluence. If you touch this, if you touch 443, I would be out. Take profit here, and be out here. That's what I see on because I mean you have swept all the daily liquidity here. You are bouncing from like a demand block here, kind of this like 4-hour order block, but you gotta flip bullish before you touch this thing. You gotta flip bullish. Uni? Yeah, we can look at Uni. Okay. Nice. Yeah, so Uni has broken bullish on your daily time frame here with the break of 850. If we look at our 4-hour. All right, so your 4-hour strong low is down here. Actually, this was all internal, which means that your 4-hour low. This is a little harder to trade because it didn't set new structure here. What's the active time frame up here? You didn't even get 30-minute. 15 minutes all you have. Yeah, not enough for me on Uni yet. You didn't meaningfully set structure up here. Like you broke it, but you didn't like set a new high and break that high to create external structure. So there's not that much I can tell you. Hey, it looks like Uni is retesting previous highs here, but for me, I can't give you a trade setup on this because it doesn't meet my structure rules. So It is in a daily uptrend though. The problem is your strong low is way down here. So, I mean, unless you're entering here, stop loss here, TP here, that doesn't really make sense. What you could kind of wait for is a break of $10. If you get in here, stop loss here, that makes a little bit more sense to go up. But it's too early in my opinion. Good night, Bearded. Have a good one, bro. All right, let's look at Bitcoin one more time. Hey, look at that. The trade we gave played out, right? Enter short here, stop loss above the strong high, targeting the low. You just hit take profit. Who was it that said they were in this trade? GG's. Somebody said they took this trade. Remind me who took this trade. All right. Well, so our 15-minute high is still up here at 92. Guys, we're coming. We're coming to 88. Coming to 88. Levels remain the same. To break bullish on the 1 hour, you have to break 92.265. Otherwise, expect it to roll over. Remember what we went over, right? Make sure you're pulling your golden pockets from structure, right? 5-minute golden pocket rejection, reattacks the lows here. 1 minute golden pocket rejection, reattacks the lows here. That's how you trade a downtrend, trade with the trend. That's right, Shantae took it. GG Santre. Shantae. Anyway, guys, that's going to be it for me. My name's Wave Cipher. Much love. Trade safe. I'm going to go to sleep, but in the morning, I'll signal some trades for you guys based on what I see. Make sure you join the free learning Discord in the description. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Take care. Oh, watch that ICP trade. Just saying. Check it out.